morning, podcasters. This is the Indie Pod Daily, where we talk about a whole bunch of things on a daily, very much daily basis. I'm your host, Super Joe Pardo. If you aren't familiar, I'm the founder of the Indie Pod Conference, and as well as the group. There's there's so much to talk about today. But today, I wanted to give not only this being the first Motivational Monday, I wanted to give an outline of what is to come in the group on a daily basis, as I have different segments planned for each and every single day. That's how you build a great content calendar. So I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about leading, because I think right now, probably as much as ever, we absolutely need leaders in our communities, and that's one of the reasons I want to talk about leading as a podcaster and leading your community. If you're watching this live, pop in the chat where you're listening from, what you're up to this morning, and we're just gonna keep it going here. So before I get into the topic of leading, let me go over the content calendar real quick of what you can expect every day of the week out of this guy, Super Joe Pardo, and this group, the Indie Podcasters group. So Mondays will be Motivational Mondays. So this is topics. They're inspirational. They're motivational to get you fired up about you and your community and your podcasting efforts and everything in between. Tuesdays will be Tech Tuesdays. So we'll talk about different tech, different software, different hardware, different configurations for your mic, for your live streaming, for you promoting your podcast, website development, anything that has to do with any kind of form of tech. That's when we're talking about it. It's on Tech Tuesday. So tomorrow, I haven't even decided what I'm going to bring up tomorrow, but I have a couple ideas, but I'm going to pick one prior to going live. But if you have a suggestion of something you'd like to see reviewed, or a piece of tech you want I talk about, I'll talk about my setup and the things that I'm doing, utilizing to get it there, to get this out to you every day, and maybe even do some tutorials on Tech Tuesday as well. On Wednesdays, it's Wisdom Wednesdays with we bring on a guest podcast expert. We've been doing it for for a long time now, years, with the Indie podcast. Used to be called the Mid-Atlantic Podcast Mid-Atlantic Podcast, something to that effect. Anyway, so that's at 8:00 at night on 8 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday night. I've been doing it myself since back in the end of September. So that won't be changing. That's going to stay the same. A lot of these other ones are probably going to be in the morning hours, sometimes earlier, trying to fit it all into the schedule and figure it all out. In fact, next week's, hey, good morning, Jessica. Good morning from Houston. Hope everyone's being safe down there. It's not too crazy. I know up here in Philly, it was not apparently not a good night at all. Here. So yeah. On Thursdays will be Training Thursday. So I need to put together I'm going to put together a link for people to join in, pick a time, and join in on a Training Thursday, which is a hot seat. So we're going to me and the guest in the hot seat will be going over their podcast efforts and looking over their website, their show, and getting, helping them one-on-one here live in the group. So I'm looking forward to doing those. The scheduling part is the tricky part right now, that I'm trying to get worked out. And then we have Figure It Out Friday. So if you have questions, I got answers. If I don't have the answers, I know people in the group that will have those answers. So it's Free Coaching Friday. So we're going to help you figure it out. Your direct questions that you have going on with your podcast. Then we have Scholarship Saturday, where I will talk about a newbie podcasting tip, a topic, and breaking it down as much as I can for all of our new podcasters that are joining rapidly, as I see in our group here. Luke says, I'm down for a training Thursday. That is awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I will get the link probably later today so we can get somebody scheduled for this Thursday. It's part of my was it fire ready aim process that I go through, and by just trying to get things out there and get it started, and then I'm like, oh, I'm ready, and then still making adjustments after the fact. I'll probably talk more about that on next Monday's Motivational Monday. And then on Sunday is Shine On Sunday. So we're going to celebrate the wins in this community. And that's, so that's a day you'll be able to do your self-promotion and promote your podcast, and hopefully make, other people that you can bring on as, find other people you can bring on as guests. And we want to highlight the wins and possibly start highlighting specific members who have interacted a ton this week, and go through all of that. So I look forward to being able to do a Shine On Sunday this upcoming Sunday. So this week's topic is all about leading and finding a way for yourself to feel comfortable in leading as a podcaster, as a leader of a community. I know sometimes it gets tough, right? Like, the pandemic happened and things kind of got shifted around. And some people, I've seen people say like, oh, I'm not really interested in, thanks, Brent. What's up, man? Shout out to podit.net. You should totally go check that out. Brent is an icon in the community here for sure. Some people have felt like they want to, kind of back away, or they don't feel comfortable in marketing, like especially once the pandemic hit, and they're like, well, I'm not really sure. But the fact of the matter is, like, you as a podcaster, it's all up to you to lead your community. And so it's up to you to make those decisions to say, hey, my content might not fit perfectly with what's going on in the situation. In fact, like today, right, we're was this day 5, 6 of these protests and looting and craziness that's happening throughout the night, and fires and complete destruction in many of our cities in America. And while that level of destruction is it's very difficult for everybody involved, and I really wish it didn't have to come to that, because the amount of peaceful protesting that are not just happening in America now, but happening abroad in Europe, is incredible. That is, that's what we have the right to do, right? In America we do. In other countries, I'm not sure of all their laws, but point being is that it's up to you as a podcaster to figure out how to take your message and then adjust it to what's going on, and letting people know that you feel a certain way, right? I want everybody to stay safe. That's them, their families. I know that tensions are high, and stakes for what change can come absolutely are. It takes great change to make change, right? It takes great things, big things to happen to create change. I don't know that the amount of destruction is going to bring that upon it. It's going to have the effect that people apparently want to occur because of that. So we'll see how that plays out. But so going back to you being a leader of your community, stepping up to the plate, swinging the bat, people need something to latch on to. And when you look at like things like right now, you have sports that are trying to get back and play, and you have baseball players are like, hey, we're not doing a revenue split with the owners. Like, from a fan's perspective, like everyone's kind of looking at it like, oh, so this is just about the money. It's not about leading the country back with the, America's pastime and all of that. So it, as leaders, it's on us to get in front of the camera, get in front of the mic, and tell our audience it's going to be all right. We're gonna get through this, and this shall pass too, and we'll be better. We'll hopefully be better off for it after the fact, when it's all said and done, when the dust settles. So yeah, so I want everybody to take that nugget with them, and think about it. Then if you're not looking at yourself as a leader of your community, as a podcaster, start doing it. Start thinking about it, and thinking about how you can step up to the plate and deliver more. That's one of the reasons that we're doing 7 days a week here in the Indie Pod group, and yeah, so it's just one of those things. If you didn't hear, it's been scrolling down below. June 13th is our next virtual conference. We're looking for speakers, calling out on all speakers. It's podcasting for beginners. So if you have a topic that you feel, beginning podcasters, if something you wish you had heard when you got started, this is the time to get that talk in there. Because this is podcasting for beginners. So go to indiepodcon.com/virtual, and you can take that and click on the speaker. There's a speaker button. It's the second thing down. In fact, I can pull it up right here on the screen, because why not, right? If you want to, here we go. So yeah, it's right here. Want to speak at the conference? Click here to speak. So you click here to speak, and you just fill out the short form at the bottom, and you are applied. And we're picking 20 speakers to speak on the topic of podcasting for beginners. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to cover for today. These lives will probably be around 10 minutes each or so. Though some of them, especially with the hot seat, will probably be longer, maybe closer to 30 minutes or an hour. Like I said, next week I'll talk a little more about how I do the fire ready, and then aim. So that's part of how all this is happening right here, right now. And clearly it's live, because there's Ava behind me. What's up, Ava? Oh, you got a ponytail. You want to say hi? Yeah, you want to say hi? Come say hi.
Hi.
Say good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, thank you, Brent. I hope you have a great, awesome day as well, man. Make it magical. Say, make it magical.
Make it magical.
Yep. High five. All right, everybody. I hope you can tell. Oh, Brent says hi, Ava.
Hi.
Say hi, Brent.
Hi.
You can't say Brent? No. Oh, okay. All right, everybody. I hope you and your families continue to stay safe and are able to navigate these difficult, crazy times. And I'll see you all tomorrow. See you, Luke. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in, Jessica. Much appreciated. See you tomorrow.